Okay, so I'm still working on the Comfortmaker. We're gonna talk today about the gas valve. I want you to hear the click, okay? It will be a click in here, and I want you to keep that in mind for now, okay? So usually the sequence of operation happen like usual: inducer motor, and then igniter, and then you're gonna hear the click. Okay, and then the gas will start. So let's wait for a second. At this point, I want to show you something. So when you hear this click, when you hear the click, when you hear the click, that means there's 24 volt coming to the gas valve, and inside the gas valve there's like a stem and there's a solenoid valve. It's like a coil, and basically it will push that small stem down, up and down. Sometimes the rubber thing sticks on the opening of the gas, so you hear the click, but the rubber cover is not removed. So a lot of times what you have to do, just hit it with the hammer a little bit. Again, this is not like a long-term repair. You hit it, but don't go crazy, just like this. Don't hit on the plastic, on the metal body. Sometimes you can release it, but again, if it releases, don't wait, get a new one. And if you hear the click, there's 24 volt coming to the gas valve, and then you don't have the ignition. Believe it or not, a lot of times I went to like places where it's rental. Somebody didn't pay the gas bill, so they had no gas. You go to the oven, you try it. If the oven doesn't work, they have no gas. Sometimes you're gonna have a pipe in here and a small cap. You can remove it quickly, see if there's gas if nobody is there, or you cannot get to the oven. It's it could be somewhere else. Okay, so if you have no click like this, so you have no click, you don't hear any click, then we're gonna do the 24 volt multimeter check. I will show you. So now we're gonna check. As we said, no click. You don't hear the click. After the igniter comes and the click should happen, and you don't hear the click, then you check for voltage. So here I put my alligators on here, and the pressure switch has a problem, so I'm trying to jump it manually. And then we're gonna see, like you see now, it's reading weird stuff, don't worry about it, but as soon as the igniter comes on, and then it will send 24 volt to the gas valve, as you're watching. Usually you hear a click in the control board, so you got 24 volt. So when you have a 24 volt and you don't hear the click like I was telling you, most likely it's either off, somebody forget it off, or the gas valve is gone. You can smell it sometimes if you put your nose close to it. You're gonna smell like electronic, you know how they burn. Okay, so let me show you the other things about gas valve. So I'm gonna show you now how you can adjust the gas valve. Now keep in mind, this is something I don't think the homeowner, you have to do it. It's a little bit complicated, but at least you have an idea if you can tell the technician. Because in my experience, I found number one killer of the furnace is when the burners are too strong and they are not adjusted. A lot of times you're gonna see the heat exchanger has like a kind of marks because it's been frying for a long time. So I'm gonna show you how to access the adjustment for the gas valve. I'll be more closer later. So this comes off. Now, believe it or not, I found a lot of technicians, they don't never know about this. So here, as you see, this gas valve was open wide all the way. I'll show you why. So this comes on. Now, clockwise is more gas, counterclockwise is less gas. Now, usually what I do, I suggest you do like a complete round and wait. You have to wait like a few minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. So, oh, sorry. I was doing the testing. In the meantime, I put a thermometer here. Now remember, you're gonna have a duct in your house. It's not gonna be open like that. But I will show you how the temperature will change when I adjust it. And usually I recommend between 100 130 maximum. If the home is drafty, old windows, no good insulation, 130. If the home is really new and everything's good insulation, you can get away with 105. So now, excuse me, let me show you here also what I was talking about, the adjustment. As you see, somebody pushed it all the way in. So basically it's open wide. And then that's how you adjust it, clockwise plus counterclockwise less gas. And I will show you how the temperature would change. Because as you see here, again, now this is open. If it was really like you have duct and you have return, usually it's gonna be different reading because the air is more sealed, you know. So I'm gonna give it a minute, see how high it will go. It's 85. Again, remember, there's no duct. When you have duct, this thing can read much better if you have a duct. But at least you get the idea, and I will show you how to reduce it. So let's say 87. Again, it's 87 is too cool. We have no duct, but I'm telling you, if there was duct, maybe it will be at least 150 or so. But let's say 88 is too high, and we want to adjust it, right? So I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a couple counterclockwise rounds, and you're gonna see. So what I usually do, I go all the way to the lowest, and I start from the low. You can watch the burners, how they become weaker, and you can see now the temperature went down. It's gonna start going down from so I have to adjust it more or less. So it's going to start going down. Now remember, it's very hard because the furnace is open wide. There's no restriction. There's no duct. There's no stack. Everything is open. It's really hard. But usually we'll never go to 86. When you have duct, usually it's gonna start like 120 something. So it's going down. Now as you see, if you watch the burners, how they become weaker and weaker. Now don't go too weak. I just want to show you how you can adjust this. See, going weaker as I'm turning. If I go all the way, look, it's gonna be strong. Watch. You can hear the sound. So anyway, it's hard to do it when you have no duct because I am not able to show you the exact temperature when it's like. But anyway, you got the idea. So what happened is you remove this. This is another gas valve. You remove the cap, right? And this is the thing you have to put your screwdriver on. Usually it's flat. Sometimes are Phillips. But again, you get the idea. But again, if you have duct, you're gonna have to put your thermometer into the duct, make a hole, and that way you can read the best. Now again, it's really hard because the return open and it's cold in here. When you are in your house, it's gonna circulate the same air, so it's gonna be easier to check. But again, counterclockwise is less gas, and clockwise is more gas. So again, if I were you, I put my thermometer, and you give it one huge turn. Like let's say it's 150. Let's say temperature here is 150, which basically it's frying your heat exchanger. And you make a complete round like this, and you give it like 5-10 minutes, and you watch it. That's why you have to wait. And then if you see the temperature going down, wait till it goes all the way to stabilize. Let's say it goes to, you give it sometime 20 minutes, because it might go from 150 in 20 minutes to 145. So, and now it will stabilize. Now you want it to 130, you're gonna go give it another huge round, complete round, and wait. I'm telling you, sometimes it might take 15 minutes. That's why a lot of times, you know, when I go to a job, I want to make an appointment because I know it's going to take me a lot of time. So you wait till it's stabilized. Let's say it goes to 40 and then again. But then when you get to 30, you have to start using half turn or quarter turn and wait. Keep watching the temperature, and then it will if it's stabilized usually 115, 120, you're good. Your furnace, the heat exchanger, will never go bad. It will live forever, unless if it's a high efficiency furnace, because again I told you, high efficiency furnaces usually, I mean all of them, they condensate, and they are always wet, so they cause a lot of rust. So this is one thing you have to know about adjusting the gas valve. Again, as I told you, you have to be very careful, and the only thing you have to be careful is when you go too low, the flame will die. You're gonna see them; they're gonna die. But don't get to that point. But if the air is coming here like 150, in some cases, if you have to make sure the filter is not really dirty, and you have to make sure you're not using these expensive, restrictive zigzag filters. If you have that one, I think it's not gonna help you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have a huge amount of the air trapped, or a huge amount of air not able to go into the furnace. So if you want to do that, it's better to change it to the filter you can see through. And then after you put it, let it run and see how high it will go. If it's 130, don't bother with it. If it's over 130, 135, 140, 150, then you can adjust it. So this is what you need to know about the gas valve. I'm going to show you how you remove it and put it back, okay? So basically, the gas valve, you have to remove, you have to turn the power off first. Always, guys, make sure, please, no power off, okay? You're going to remove these two wires for now because they're going to be in the way. Okay, don't forget to put this wire back. These screws come off. Now remember, you have a union. This union will take it off. Now I have a hose, but there's a pipe in here and stuff. So you remove the union, remove these two wires, and then these two wires, and then it comes off. I will show you how to do it. So basically, you need 1/4, okay, 1/4 bit. For this one is 1/4, okay? So you go like this quickly, and let me shut the gas off. I'm gonna remove my weird hose, and so this comes off, right? You remove the wires. Now I'm not gonna have to disconnect the union, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna remove the flame sensor, and that's what it is. Okay, this union you have to remove it. For me, because it's a rubber hose. And then I will show you with the wrench. You remove this clockwise, counterclockwise, and this comes off. Always make sure you follow the arrow. Okay, there's an arrow in here. There's an arrow in here. The arrow should go always to the manifold. These are the orifices. A lot of times one of the burns will be weak. You have to poke it, clean it. So when you put it back, again, by the way, when you take this off and you put it back, you can use Teflon. I don't recommend Teflon because Teflon sometimes they tend to break. The Teflon, you know, and they tend to break, and you don't want them to break into this. I prefer to use a regular paste, which is it doesn't really do a lot of. It doesn't break like a Teflon. If you do Teflon, just put a little bit. Don't put too much in the front of it. Okay, so you follow the arrow. Always the arrow should be going to the manifold. The thing I want to tell you when you put this back, don't go crazy on it. I mean, tighten it. Of course, you have to tighten it. But I have seen people, they go like they feel like there is a 2000 psi pressure in the pipe. Like imagine imagine you have water and then it's like 200,000 psi. It's not. Gas usually is anywhere between 6 to 8 inch of water count, which is really like with your finger. You know, if you put a napkin on it, your finger is gonna stop it. So tighten it, but don't go crazy. I'm telling you, like this one. If I show you now, if I want to take this off, you feel like it's been it's been sealed. Like watch, I'm gonna go on the floor if you can't see me. Actually, no. Luckily, these people, they didn't do it too hard. But watch, this is basically it's a factory. But I'm just telling you sometimes. So that's how you take it off. But this was really good. That's how much you need. You with your hand, and then just a little bit like this. You know, don't go crazy on it. Let's say you put the pipe dope, and then you go like this, and that's it. That's enough. But sometimes I was working in a company. I see these guys, they go crazy on it. Okay, let's say you put a new one already, you follow the arrow. These has to go into the in-shot burners, right? Like we can go like this. Okay, so this is how it goes. It's already perfect like that. Now, when we need the screws, we cannot find them. So at least you got the idea. Okay, so here we're gonna put it back. Make sure all the offices fit into the in-shot burners, and then put one screw at least, so it's gonna hold. And then that's how it is, basically. That's how it is. Sorry, I'm not prepared, and I'm a new YouTuber. I appreciate that you're putting up with me. With my little experience as a YouTuber, not as an HVAC. Okay, so we're gonna put back the wires. Remember, all the wires go back here. So you have these for the limit, right? And this for the flame sensor. Actually, see, I made a mistake. Okay, don't tell anyone, guys. I have to put the ground. Now, ground is very important. Do not miss the ground, because if you don't have a ground, believe it or not, I showed you in other videos, if you have no ground, it's going to affect the flame sensor. And 50% of problem with the flame sensor is ground. Flame sensor rarely goes bad. Sometimes could be the board, but 50% of cases, the ground. Sometimes the ground from the house, you know, that box, the conduit could be not connected good, and you're missing ground. So I think that's all for the gas valve. We're gonna start talking about the control board next video. Thanks for your time.